welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sophie, and if you're new here, welcome, and if you are an old friend or returning subscriber, welcome back. I'm so excited to have you here. Dolly's really excited too, and we can't wait to get into today's video. Today I'm going to be teaching you all about how to create a beautiful watercolor style Christmas wreath in Procreate. I also just want to note that I'll have linked in the description below all of the tools that I used for today's video, but first I'm just going in with the color picker and selecting the type of green that I want to use for this wreath. So really the first thing that I'm doing here is just outlining the overall structure of the wreath using really light feathery strokes, and I'm speeding this video up a little bit for you, but right now we're really just creating the base layer of the wreath and just giving it some shape and structure and starting to do a little bit of leaf work. So this first type of greenery that I'm drawing here is all about pressure, the amount of pressure that you're putting onto the canvas with your Apple pencil when you're actually making the brush strokes. So you can see here that when I actually apply less pressure, I'm actually getting a darker pigment, and then when I apply more pressure, it's showing up a little bit lighter. So I use that a lot in kind of creating the different textures and just really showcasing that watercolor look with these watercolor Procreate brushes. Little Procreate hack for you here. I used the ribbon tool to select the image on the side that I wanted to delete, and then I used the 3-finger swipe up to cut and paste it onto a different layer and get rid of it. If you haven't heard of that Procreate hack, definitely try the 3-finger swipe up and see what all options it gives you. It's definitely come in handy a lot for me. So now I'm adding in kind of a different type of greenery where it's a little bit more darker of a color rather than that like light and airy greenery that I was creating before. And I'm also going in and adding basically some just things that might look like pine needles. That's the kind of vibe that I was going for with some of these more jagged lines around the Christmas wreath. And then now going in with a little bit like probably medium pressure for this particular, sprig of greenery that I was coloring in there. Speeding up the process a little bit for you. When you're using watercolor brushes though, it's truly all about the amount of pressure that you put on the paper. I'm saying that in quotations, but basically in the canvas of your iPad. What I just showed you is designed to look like pine needles again, and those are just really simple jagged lines. And now I'm adding in a different style of greenery yet again that relies heavily on the amount of pressure I'm putting onto my iPad with my Apple Pencil. I'm using pressure to make sure that kind of like the veins of the leaves can stand out all in one swoop. Basically, I never lifted up my pencil during that whole time that I drew that. So that's kind of the beauty of that, is that I can do it really quickly and it still creates a beautiful detail depending on how lightly or how hard I press onto the iPad with my pencil. And then next I kind of wanted to explore almost like a eucalyptus vibe for this next greenery that I wanted to add. I wanted to have a mixture of textures, and right now there's not really a mixture of color. There's just basically the same shade of green, but I did want to have a lot of different types of greenery. So again, when I want the color and pigmentation to be more distinct, I'm using less pressure. When I want the look to kind of fan out a little bit and look a little light and airy, that's when I'm applying a lot of pressure. Now this is kind of the fun part. I'm putting together some finishing touches. I love this shape for greenery because it's so easy. You're basically just using the shape of a heart as your base and then just kind of elongating that all the way through. It just creates like a really pretty like viney look, and it's really easy to make if you just remember the basic heart shape. So I'm using that darker green color to add a little bit more depth to the Christmas wreath. I've basically stuck with pretty much the same color all throughout, so now I'm ready to go in and add some detail with different shades, darker colors. And as you can see here, I'm adding in like veins for the leaves and making it just kind of pop a little bit with some more detail. I think one thing that I've found in my career so far as an artist is that the magic is really in the details. When you start going back in and getting really granular with the types of details that you're adding and really putting in that effort to just add an extra something wherever you can. That's when it really transforms the illustration and keeps it from looking too flat. It really brings it to life, even if it's meant to be kind of like a whimsical, you know, not necessarily like a realistic Christmas wreath, but it really does bring it to life. And now, just to mix it up a bit, and in the spirit of Christmas colors, red and green, I'm going to be adding in some little berries all throughout the Christmas wreath, just kind of sprinkled throughout. I love to add that in. I think it's just like a fun little detail and a really cute pop of color. Some other things that you could add to your Christmas wreath would be things like ribbon or bows. If you wanted to add different colored berries, literally anything. You could add Christmas ornaments, all kinds of things to just kind of make your wreath come to life a little bit more. And then I'm adding kind of just a spot of white on each one to kind of show a little reflection on each of the berries. Okay, so continuing on with these details, now I'm adding in a very dark brown color to outline some branches, not only on the vines and the greenery, but also for what the berries are attached to. So I just found that adding in this little hint of like a dark brown to showcase just the branches makes it much more realistic, and again, adds more depth and a little bit more variation of color so that it's not all completely green. And once you're finished, you can use this in social media illustrations, your own homemade cards. You can print this out and frame it for a little Christmas home decor, whatever you want to do with it. Add writing, add a note to a loved one. There's all kinds of things you can do with this. So let me know in the comments if you give this a try or if you're going to give it a try. I absolutely love watercolor style illustrations, and it's so fun for me to be able to share this with you and teach you how to do some of the things that I love to draw. So let me know in the comments what you want to learn how to draw next time, and I will catch you guys in the next video. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.